we get to deal with here. That'll do. Well, here we are, and here's what we got going on. So as you can see, there is no garage door in here. It's just big open space. But gonna be putting a garage door in right here. Now we got 8-foot ceilings, so I'll be putting in a 7-foot door. Not big enough to put anything super huge in here, but plenty big to get the typical stuff in. The goal is to have a nice little workshop here for doing projects and restorations over the winter, and hopefully long term we can be making videos of some of the restorations of the rescues during the winter months. Part of what we got going on is figuring out what the best plan of attack is structurally to do this. So there was no access to the attic in here, so I wasn't really sure what type of structure this is. So we've got trussed construction here. Trusses are pretty close spacing, and we got 2x6 walls. So this thing is built stout. But that means that there's very, very, very little risk in knocking a few of those wall studs out. And I think regardless of how well this is constructed, we're going to frame out a header for the garage door regardless, probably a 2x10 header. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. So my goal for this was to be able to frame out this whole door and then not have to redo any of the drywall. I can't stand doing drywall work, so the hope is to leave what's here alone and have it finished and done. So with a bunch of measuring, went through, found where the studs were, cut the drywall out to the outermost studs that we would need to frame out the door. They're 16 inches on center, so between the two outers we're at 126.5. And then we'll marry a couple of 2x6s on each side to frame it out. Do a 2x10 laminated across the top. And we got to get the wiring out of the wall before we can take the rest of this out. So I've been pulling the staples out. I got 2 more to go at the top here. And when you disconnect your wiring, you want to lick your fingers and hang on to each one to make sure you've got the breakers killed appropriately. But we got the power killed to the whole building, so just to be safe. So we'll get after it, get these staples out. And unfortunately, the way this wall was built, it may have been prefabbed, I'm not sure, but the 2x6s are nailed end to end. So I'm gonna have to go in and actually cut through the bottoms of them with a Sawzall to cut the nails out. And then we'll start knocking them out. And my plan is actually to recycle 4 of these wall studs to then use for the framing for the door post and header. So we'll see how it goes. Well, I think that's enough progress for today. We got most of the studs out. We just got the window frame left to do, and Not sure how to easily pull that out without going full commitment to taking this wall out and putting the door in. So we're going to quit for today. Finish it off by trimming the drywall back flush to the studs so that it looks all pretty. And yeah, we'll continue this saga another day.
Several days later.
Alright guys, so we got all the wall studs out. We got them selected for which ones we're going to recycle. And we're going through and taking all the screws and nails and staples and crap out of them so that we can then cut them down to length and laminate them together for the uprights. Let me tell you, when lumber is as expensive as it is, you recycle on it. We are making progress. We got our uprights cut, set up for each side. We got the header boards cut and got all the spacers cut. We're making the header board the same thickness as the 2x6s that make up the wall. That way everything's flush from when we mount the garage door up. Some people like to laminate these with either a third board or a third board plus some plywood, but it's already excessively overkill for what we're doing here. So we're going to basically laminate this with spacers to make up our 5.5-inch width. So making good headway. So now we've got to cut all of the nails out that's in the way of the header. You can't see them probably in the camera, but there's about 14 billion nails sticking through there from both the siding and the backer board that's up there. So we'll get those trimmed out and then we should be able to start putting the header up. Hey, look, I'm a carpenter now. No, definitely not. But it's there, it's in, and I think it should do the job. I don't think anything got screwed up, so I think it's a good time to stop. We'll continue this saga the next day.
Much later.
Alright guys, just giving you an update. Got both the uprights up and cutting the boards to cap off the header. And then before we do that, we're going to grab some of this old insulation from the wall and stuff it up between the spacers and the laminated header. That way we got some heat retention up there. And we'll cap it off. And next we'll miter the corners just so it looks nice. And then we're going to be pretty close to starting to put up door hardware and hanging the door. And then we may cut the opening first and then hang the door. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of winging it. Well, there we go. Got all the insulation stuffed up in there. I'll throw the cap plate on there, or whatever you want to call it. I'll keep trucking forward. So my original plan was to cut this opening out with my steel 026 Pro saw, chainsaw for those who don't know. And then kind of had an epiphany that we had this old electric plug-in chainsaw that came from my grandfather's estate many years ago. So I went out to an outbuilding and dug that out, put it back together again, and chucked a new chain on it. So this way, hopefully we won't die of asphyxiation while we're getting this door cut out. You know, it should be a little bit more rigid than a Sawzall. Should be able to get a pretty nice cut. Don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a whirl. There we go. This thing's really manly. No, it's not. door. Well, guys, let me tell you what happened here. We had some unexpected bad weather move in, and the tarp that was covering the hole was insufficient. So recruited some help, and we just absolutely hammered this door out. So we've got the door all in, obviously. Had to trim the drywall back just a little bit for the door brackets, but all in all, went fairly smoothly. Got the foundation all cut out. I don't know if you noticed before, the foundation's a little bit higher than the floor. So we got that cut, the diamond blade, and knocked out. The remaining bit of the foundation is not filled, so they definitely cut a quarter on that. So next step will be mixing up some concrete, and we'll fill the foundation. Then we'll pour a sill plate along the length of the door, probably taper it just a bit so we get some runoff. And then we'll be moving on to trying to get the building emptied and tearing carpet out, cleaning the glue off the floor, painting walls. Anyhow, that's it for now. Wanted to take you guys along for the ride, since there's probably going to be a lot of content coming from this shop once it's set up. So if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, drop it in the comments below. Keep me posted. If you don't want to see any more progress on this, then we won't make any more videos of it, and when it's done, we'll just start filming content here. Let me know. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it very much. Take care.